thing. All right, so Fred, do you want to try to jump in and let's start looking at these boosters and reducers? Hey, Pick Six. All right, so Fred has a couple of things that he's pulled up. So he's got, this is the set he's going to have in right now. I'm going to pull out any of the boosters that I have, and so that way you guys can see this. So I'm going to take off my defensive boosters. I'm going to leave in my reducers that I have, or I may just actually drain all mine because I think we're in an okay place in terms of spin. So I'm going to remove all my boosts. And that way we can see just exactly what are Fred's reducers doing to my team. And we're going to look at the max reducer and see what impact that has versus when we have these individual boosts here. So you can see this first configuration. You can see how he has the boosts in place, but we do not have the max booster in place. And then we have his second one, which will have the max in place, and everything else you can see is the same. So we're going to have it look at it with it out and look at them with them activated, and let's take a look at what these look like. So you can see I've stripped out all of my boosts, so I don't have that. So we're going to see the combination of Fred with power. So he's going to have no max booster in, and then we're going to have just his power reducer, because I'm going to get reduced by -5 against Fred. And then we're going to have no max booster in, and look at what that particular setup looks like. And I think that should help be really telling about the difference between just the power reducer and the other. Are you ready to play up, Fred? You got everything set the way you want? Yeah, 21 away, man. Oh yeah, it's going to be ugly for sure. Point is not to win. The point is to be instructional, right? So all that'll do is just make Fred's winning streak against me that much larger. Yeah, so I definitely need to adjust the size and see if I can get that font size up a bit and make that larger in chat. So I'll work on those with the emotes. Well, so this is just water. But I do have my my Fairlife shake here as well. So again, you can see we're reduced by -5, and so you can take a look and see what we look like. We're going to flip through all the players here and be able to show exactly what we look like here. So start with the normal volley here for me, and you can see my guys here. I'm at a 95 with my wide receiver, right? I am at 97 with Landry. I'm at 97 with Kelsey. My offensive line, I've got 99, 94, 99, 99, 99, 97, 99, and 97, right? And so we can see this variation that's here. And for him, you can see, because I don't have any reducers in, we've got his Mike Evans at 105, Tillman 105, Taylor 105, all these guys, nothing's happened to them at all. But you can see the damage that's been dealt already to my guys without any of the other real reducers in, or without that max reducer, and just looking at the -5 power. But let's see how we can play it all here and see what we can do. Yeah, and so with full power and no max reducer, you can see what Fred's got in chat there, that my maxed cornerbacks and safeties are down to 91s. The D-line is down to 91, and the linebackers are down to a 98. So that's an incredibly detrimental setup there in terms of trying to play this game, right? And this is without the max reducer actually in. So let's see how we can do, maybe just trying to play up. Let's see what that match looks like. Maybe we play one, and then we see how bad this thing actually gets as we go. And who knows, maybe because we are reduced so much, we might be able to get lucky on some throws if they can hang on to the ball. Oh, you can see how much faster they're moving than my guys, right? They're just able to catch up real quick. Yeah, guys, make sure if you're watching and you can't see the chat, I've got it on followers only chat because of the giveaways. So we want to make sure everybody gets the giveaways. We're at 82 viewers, guys. 82 viewers in the middle of the day That's pretty awesome. So we're just shy. If we can hit that 100 mark, we'll do the AE narrow down. Oh yeah, I got spotted some points there early on, but you can see he's having an easy time checking up. Hey, thanks for the follow, Red. Oh, killed. Always like to see the GCs hanging out with us. And there's the eyes. Oh, sacked. Like Combine saying it. So there we lost, as was expected. So you can see, it's tough, right? They're a lot faster than I am. So let's go and let's leave my boosters out. Fred, let me know when you've got your -5 in. Thanks for the cheer, Lit Boy. So let me know when you got your -5 back in, and we'll spin up another match, and we can see how bad my offense gets reduced here, right? We were sitting at some 95s, some 97s, a couple of 99s on the offensive line. But overall, it's it's pretty rough already, and that was just with the -5, no Madden Max reducer. So once we get this, we should be wiped out even more. And again, you can just see how detrimental that occur, or how bad that can be detrimental to your team as you play. Yeah, 86 viewers, man. I'm stoked. That's pretty cool. In the middle of the day, man. And then we'll fire up that first giveaway too. We'll see if we can hit the 100 mark, and then we'll fire up the first KOTB giveaway. Thanks for the follow, Wilson. Hey, and Litboy's got an extra offer. If we hit 100 viewers, he'll also do 5 gifted subs, which is pretty amazing. Thanks for that offer, Litboy. All right, guys, so let's look here. Look at this. Now my Calvin Johnson is down to a 90, right? I am stuck at a 92 with Travis Kelce. My offensive tackle's down to a 94. I'm at an 89 offensive guard, 94 center. These guys are maxed, so that's one thing you'll notice here. These guys are maxed, but look at the hit on my tight end, a 92 on my tight end. Vic is sitting at a 94. Derrick Henry is at a 91, and that's just gross. It's just gross, right? So this is going to be just an unwinnable match just about, unless, again, the RNG gods are in my favor and just really get some nice defensive plays. And there you can see Fred saying that with the full power and the max reducer back in, that my max cornerback and safeties are down to a 90, a 91. The D-line is down to a 92 and 93, and the linebackers now down to a 93 and a 98, or a 92 and 93. I mean, that absolutely makes it where, his guys are still pretty well boosted. Let's take a look at his defense on this next play. So now you can see here, 105, 105. See, none of this, no reductions happening. I have no reducers in on mine at all. Maybe we'll play one more. Controller, the joystick got stuck. And but certainly you can see, that's extremely damaging, right? The offensive line is not going to hold well. You're going to have issues trying to hang on to the ball. So even if you make the underneath catch, your guy still has to be able to hang on to the ball after the hit. You can see how slow Derrick Henry is coming off the handoff there. It's crazy. We got 82 viewers. We got 82. Look at that. Just killed. Hey, Lit Boy, thanks for the gifted subs, man. Appreciate it. So again, just getting broken here, right? We can't even make contact here with anybody. Oh, get in! Look how slow! Look how slow my Michael Vick is. My maxed Michael Vick makes me sad. I need some tear-eyed emojis in the chat there. Need to come up with some crying Vol emote. Did we hit the number? Yeah, did we go over? Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, I see that. We're at 106. All right. Well, let's freeze this match just a second and let's narrow down this AE list just a little bit more. Again, we don't want to give away the whole surprise, right? We want to make sure that this is something that that is still a surprise tomorrow. But let's narrow this down and let's do the first giveaway, right? So since it is Friday, let's do. You guys know that I like to celebrate the day. So let's go TGIF. TGIF is the first giveaway. Go ahead and roll it, guys. Really appreciate the support. Everybody jumping on. I know it's for the reveal, but it's just cool seeing if we can get this many people out. I'm like Nick. I like the chaos of people jumping in on the channel. Again, you don't have to spam the chat. Just type it once. It'll pick you up, and that way we can still have some conversation going. But let's go ahead and pop in the reveal here. And again, this is going to narrow down the list that we have just a little bit more. Okay? So we're going to reveal right now. Thanks for the follow, TCAS. So there you go. There is our next reveal on the AEs that are here. So you can see we've got a couple more players whittled down off of that list that now you guys can start to take a look here at who you think is going to make it for the next AE being released tomorrow, right? Yeah, tomorrow, the 11th. Yeah, I don't see Nick on here. Sometimes lunch is tough for him to make too. They'll have meetings over top, and then where they're at home doing a lot of Zoom stuff. So, but yeah. So here we go. Nick is out. So that Nick card is out. No Messina. I told him he should have left. He should have left that in as a possible option. Thanks for the follow, Hajin. So you can see we've got a couple new players knocked out here. So I mean, we've still got the Playmaker, we've still got Gronk, we've got Ocho Cinco, we've got the Boz, Pac-Man, Weapon X, Mean Joe, T-Sizzle, PP2T, the Freak, and Pork Chop still out there. So I'm interested to see which ones you guys think is going to be there. I see some Gronks in there. People may be happy that Gronk is still up. Yeah, 2 of them left of return punts. Yeah, man, the punter for me is going to kill me. That's what's keeping me from being there. I need to. I can't. There's no Heckers on the auction house for me. Can't find him, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, see, I've got the punt returner. I've got the punt returner. All right, let's jump back in here and let. I think Fred's going to get down to base power there. Fred, do you want to do? You guys hang on just a second. We're going to roll that giveaway in just a minute. All right, so you're going down to power and only have the max booster in. Okay. And so you want to leave me with no boosts, right, Fred? Or no reducers on my side? TGIF, that giveaway is live. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a freak out there. I wouldn't mind seeing a freak card, even though my defense is maxed out. I know people would love that. All right, I'll put my max in, and that way Fred can see that reduction on his side also. So we'll put the max reducer back in. So there we go, and then we can spin up again. And that way Fred can report on what my defense is looking like on his side. All right, spin up whenever you're ready. Thanks for the follow, Parasite. Yeah, Mean Joe Green's always a fun one too. I always like Mean Joe Green cards. There are certain ones I like to end the season with. I've never been a big I've never been a big fan of the legacy teams. I don't really look at them ever, but I've always liked to have certain players at the end of my team that that would be cool too if we could have it where they're fully trained and don't have to pull TP out. Because like if I wanted one of these guys, I'm likely going to have to ditch a spot because my offense and defense are all maxed, except for Thuney, which I'm waiting to replace with Nelson. And then I'm going to burn the badges off of Thuney to hopefully get a punter and be able to. Yeah, so I'm 7,800 right now, I think, Fred. 7822. So you want to get within 49 of that. yeah, I've heard you mention that, SPP. All right, guys, let's roll that. We've got people on. Let's roll the giveaway TGIF. Again, we're going to roll that in 5. This is for a 100. This is for a 95 or a 100 overall KOTB player. We're going to roll that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hot 2K following since June 10th, man. Thanks for the follow today. Really appreciate you picking up the channel. Hopefully you stay on. We do some interesting stuff, and we always have some good giveaways. Let me go ahead and get that whisper out the door, and we'll go ahead and pull it. Hold on, Josh. Let me finish with Fred, and then you and I can play up a match if you want to. So let me jump in here and get Hot 2K. Congrats, Hot 2K. So I'm going to send you a message. You got to let me know in the DM which player that you want, and let me know your UID and your IGN. Let's see, Hot 2K. UID, and do not post your UID in the chat, please. Alright, so I sent that whisper out. Yeah, he can pick a 95 or a 100. Yep. 95 or a 100. Okay. Alright, so we've been on. We can go ahead and start up. We'll make the next giveaway live, though. For those of you that are hanging out on the channel, let's go ahead and make the next giveaway live. Let's maybe celebrate our current stream boss. So we're going to make the giveaway PH Fred. So if you guys want to type that in the chat, PH Fred, and then Fred, whenever you're ready, go ahead and spin up. It's PHFREDD, PHFREDD in the chat, and we'll get that next giveaway up and spinning. Thanks for the cheer, Lip Boy, and thanks for the follow. Hello, Binko. Remember, PHFREDD. So again, just a small sneak peek, not giving away the whole thing on who the next AE is. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sometimes it takes a minute. Yeah, Lip Boy's D-Man. PHFREDD. So you can see Fred got his power down. We're dead on. 7822, 7839. So this will just show you what that max reducer does to your team and how important that really is in terms of the overall reductions that you see. So again, here we see, these are maxed players. So this is down to a 100 as we would expect. We've got a 102 on our Landry. We have 100 Kelsey. We've got our 100 Matthews. We have our 95 Thuney because he's a 100 overall player. So you can see a full 100 taken down from most of these players that are here that you'll see are full 5 stats pulled down from these guys, right? And with these max players especially, what's going to happen is that is going to pull down. To get that overall down to that level, you're pulling one stat point away from every stat. So in this case, it's going to be -5 speed, -5 awareness, -5 catch, -5 jump, and so that really does start to add up, right? Those -5s that are there, and you can see his defense, right? They're also down by the same. Where before with nothing there, you can see that reduction that we have on his squad. All of them are at least down to 100s now, right? So this is a much more even fight from that perspective. Now this is with no other boosters in, And this is where we get back into the concept of archetypes. So Fred says in the chat that all stats are down -5. But he says check my D-line since they're not max and they could be impacted more. And that's what we may see here is there we see. So he's got a silver offensive lineman in, right? So 56 DE that's there, right? So that guy's not going to make any penetration probably in, right? We've got, see if I can get my tap on there. And then we've got another 58 defensive tackle. Thanks for the follow, Jack the Skipper. But you can see there that really that reduction, does make a big difference. And so when you look at the boosters and the reducers that you have on your squad, then you have the situation that you need. If you look at these overalls, it's not going to necessarily tell you which boosters and reducers in, but if you are familiar with the archetypes and have some sort of understanding of how that's reducing those players, then you might be able to have an idea of what sort of reducers that your opponent has in. So in this case, if I have, and hey Fred, let's maybe do one more thing. You've got your cornerback, let me back out of the match here. I don't know if there's a good way to, I don't think I can actually forfeit anything. I think we just have to play it out. But let's play this match out, and then let's if you can, put in your, or I'll put in the cornerback reducer, and that way we can show the guys out there too how much that's going to that's going to impact that, because that cornerback reducer is going to drop speed, right? So if we use the one where it's a man and zone coverage for the cornerbacks and safeties, then we can kind of show that drop off with those sort of things combined. And I'm not going to try to take a cheap shot here with Fred's record. I'll let he can stay or I can stay completely defeated by Fred. Yeah, that'd be good. Put in the O-line reducer, and then we can show that. And that way I'll have the cornerback reducer in. You can see his defense. He can have the O-line reducer in, and you can see what impact that has. But it's really important because it does help give you an idea. Although you can't tell exactly what's going on, it can help you determine that if you see, okay, the maxed players are down by, if you look across the board and you can see that, okay, these guys are down by a certain amount, then that that's probably got the -5 or -4 that's in there. If you see then all of a sudden that the safeties are dropped down even more, right, that their overall is dropped down, then you can start to look at, okay, my safeties were reduced compared to everyone else. So that means that the player that I'm up against likely has one of these cornerback or safety reducers in, right? Or they may have one of these defensive speed reducers down. So you do have to have a solid awareness and understanding of these boosters and these reducers and how they actually impact the game. So Fred, whenever you're ready, go ahead and challenge up, and we'll try it again. And then we'll get in and play. So I've got hit Elite 1 in Overdrive, so I've got that knocked out. And then I have, we still have some Hall of Fame work we can do on Arena also that we can start playing and showing some of these things in place. But hopefully this gives you guys, again, just to add on to our archetype conversation that we had yesterday. Remember, the PH Fred giveaway is live right now, PHFREDD. But hopefully this kind of gives you a little bit of an overview as to what these sorts of reducers do and how you can use those reducers and the overalls that you see on your team to figure out what might be happening with the squad. So now, we looked at this before and we had his cornerbacks and safeties at 100 because they're maxed out. If we look now, we see that Randy Moss is at 97, right? Mike Evans is 97. Tillman is, or Sean Taylor's at 98. Calvin Johnson at 98, right? Night Train Lane at 97. So what you can see here is that little bit more of a reduction from what we had on these cornerbacks and safeties because of that cornerback and safety reducer. If we look then at the offensive line, because he's got the offensive line reducer in, right? If we look at that, then what we can see is my guys, now I'm down to 99. So that dropped that by 1 point on that guy. 99 on that guy, gosh, on Ramchick. We've got Jake Matthews at 99. Thuney is down to 95. And so these guys didn't get too much of a reduction down. But again, as Fred points out here, the reason why ST and Calvin Johnson are at 98s instead of 97s is because of their archetype, right? And so that archetype then changes the weighting of the stats. So in the case of the cornerback and safety reducer that I had the -4 speed, we've got -8 man and -8 zone coverage. And so what you see there is then that impact that has on Sean Taylor and those guys, right? It certainly hurt the cornerbacks. The speed reduction combined with the man zone coverage reductions hurt the cornerbacks worse on his team than it hurt the safeties, right? Yeah, COVID jokes we shouldn't do. That's not a pleasant thing, though. But here we can see, exactly what's going on there. And I'm interested here. Did you put the O-line reducer in or the O-line booster in, Fred? Thanks for the cheer, Snake Eyes. Appreciate it. Which one do you have in, the O-line reducer or the O-line booster? Yeah, the reducer. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm actually amazed by that. If you look at the O-line reducer, what happened here on the overalls, right? These guys should be, 105 minus the 5, and that -7 to run block and everything only dropped these guys by 1 point overall, right? So that shows you that the run block stats are very important, right? If you don't have good run block stats, you're not going to block, right? If you don't have good run block, good pass block stats, it's not going to, your players are not going to block. But what you have is, if those players are not, or that run block stat may not actually have a huge impact on the archetype, or on the overall of the player, depending on the archetype, right? And so that can, that's going to change how those overalls are adjusted. So this is where, again, we get back to the whole point that archetype really doesn't matter, only except in trying to assess how a player is going to fit on your team. The overall does not matter. It's completely useless in terms of determining whether or not a player is good or bad, right? The player is only good or bad based on the stats that they have, right? And that's what you want to look at when you're picking out a player.